Hello, hello. Welcome back to ArcheTAP, where every Thursday night we talk about, discuss an archetype, and then tap on it and meditate on it. We're slowly moving our way week by week through the major arcana series of the Tarot, and tonight we are on the Justice card, which is card 8, but it's got some controversy, so we're going to jump into the controversy first. In the Universal Weight Tarot, Justice is actually card 11. But in the Thoth, the Marseille, and the Sphinx Code, which I personally just really come to love, it is card number 8. So we're going with that today because it aligns more with numerology. So the positions of strength and justice have been a long time source of controversy within the Tarot. I didn't really know that until researching for this class. I hadn't made that connection, even though I've got various decks. I never noticed before. So traditionally, justice was card number 8, while strength was card number 11. And when A.E. Waite published the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot in 1910, he changed it. And he was heavily criticized for this change. Ultimately, we're going to discover it doesn't make that big of a difference in the storyline, but he put strength as number 8 and justice as card 11. So it's most likely that he found the progression of the story through the lens of astrology versus numerology to be out of balance in his mind, since the sign of Leo is strength and Libra is balance. So he might have just felt like the natural order of them was upset in some way. Just a different point of view. However, from a numerological point of view, this placement makes a lot of sense because the number 8 is perfect balance. So justice sits in just the right spot. Ultimately, the major arcana tell a story of the Fool moving through all 21 cards. And they're split up into 7 card sections. There's 3 of them. So really, as card 8, we are entering the second section of cards and beginning to talk about this story from a different perspective. So the first 7 cards are all about the material plane. We're moving into the mental plane now. So either way you tell the story, whether he finds balance first and then he finds strength, the storyline still really makes sense. It card 8 is for the month of August. Its inner essence is found here. If you were born in the month of August, this is going to be the energy that you carry with you for your whole entire life. And it's very important to find integrity within this archetype because every other archetype is going to kind of flow through this one. If you are a life path number 8 in numerology, then justice is your unevolved ego. So these might be the kind of shadowier aspects that you would deal with the first 40-ish years of your life. Next year, 2024, is an 8th year. This is going to be the theme of next year. Justice is the archetype. And maybe I'll just speak on that now, even though we'll dive deeper into the card in just a moment. 2024 represents justice from our heart perspective. Justice will likely start by cutting away all the things that are no longer serving us or anything that might be pulling us in the wrong direction. Justice likes cleanliness and order and harmony. So next year is going to be about tidying up. crossing our T's, dotting our I's, making sure that we've got order in every area, whether it's administrative parts of our lives, whether it's our relationship parts of our lives, doesn't matter. Like, we're going to clean it all up. And we'll get into what that might actually look like here in just a moment. So the angel associated with this archetype is the angel of order and harmony. In Greek mythology, she was called Athena, and in Roman mythology, she was called Minerva, and she is Libran. Libra through and through. And I have never, I think I have this in my notes later, I have never seen her portrayed other as feminine, deeply feminine. So if I were going to sum up this archetype in just one phrase, it's that balance isn't about being right or wrong. Balance is about what is correct for you is going to give you energy, and what is not correct for you is going to deplete it, in just the simplest of terms. So optimally, justice looks like fairness, harmony. She's stable, she's poised, she's joyful. And I want to tell a story about joy in relation to this card because I thought it was kind of interesting. She's diplomatic and she's very disciplined and she's cool. And she's not cool like she's hip. She's cool like she's a little bit cold. And that is an optimal aspect of this archetype. In her shadowier states, she's submissive, she's inflexible, she's got past wounds that are unhealed, and which can make her bitter and manipulative. So justice represents the moral and physical mechanics of our society. She holds the balance of opposites. She's yin and yang. Like I said a second ago, she's deeply feminine. I've never seen her represented otherwise. And no matter what card you're looking at, most often she is either seated or standing between two pillars. And in one hand, she's holding scales, and in the other hand, she's holding a sword. The scales that she's holding represent the feminine. It's about balance, it's about karma. She's weighing material things, actions, behavior. The sword is the masculine, and it's going to cut through anything deceptive and just tear it away. The robes that she is wearing are definitely very judicial looking, and they represent her fairness, her objectivity, that she's able to rise above drama and chaos and very cleanly and clearly look down and see what's going on. So this archetype is about understanding the mechanics of reality. She understands the mechanics of reality with like such clear precision. And she maintains integrity. I think integrity might be a key word here that I could have easily mentioned above. She holds balance. So to be able to judge impartially, she has to have a certain coldness about her. When thinking about this from the level of personality, so when we're just talking about ourselves here and how this might apply to our lives, we can see that a lot of us have an ego desire for harmony, right? And that could cause you to accidentally compromise your spiritual integrity. There's a tendency for us, especially if you have any kind of people pleasing in you, that is for us to just accept a negative situation for the sake of agreement, to be amiable. But that kind of thinking isn't what transmutes disharmony. We cannot cater to the most dysfunctional person in the room and keep the peace unless we want to ensure that more dysfunction is created down the line. So the ego says, don't express your truth or inner knowing. Just go along with insanity in the name of peace. And she calls bullshit. Peace at any price is not the name of this archetype. She's a fucking warrior. She's a warrior in angel attire, and she doesn't accept chaos and confusion and turmoil. She does not think twice about blowing away these problems in a very positive and powerful way. She'll just use her sword to cleanly cut you out. And what she's weighing is these energetics of what that statement that I made right at the beginning. It's like, does this give me energy or is this draining energy from me? And am I paying attention? It's not about legal, illegal, right, wrong. She's not rigid, and there are no pre-established judgments in her mind. It's case-by-case basis. She's incredibly detail-oriented, very precise, very fair. So when she's in shadow, she does become rigid. She can be cut off from her body and her emotions and then fall into moral judgments, all of which sort of hinder her ability to be able to find real clarity. And then she's out of integrity. So this can bring about a lot of disorders within the body. And in general, just be unfair, unjust, unbalanced, you know? So in this John Randolph Price book that I love, where he's using the tarot and angels kind of simultaneously, he tells a story in here about joy. And he says basically several years ago, I realized the profound impact that joy had in my immediate environment. And by experiencing the lack of it, he was like, I didn't know that I was joyless until I sought to answer a ridiculous turn of events where everything seemed to be out of kilter. So he's got this specific time frame in his life, and like every time he turned around, something was falling apart. His lawnmower, his car, his whatever. Like it was Mercury retrograde times a bazillion, and he was like, it was almost laughable to him how chaotic everything had suddenly become, and nothing was working correctly. When he finally stopped long enough to go within and ask himself, like, why me? Which of course we are like, what did I do wrong? The answer that he got from the angels was, your joy vibration is non-existent. And joy is the energy and the catalyst for order and harmony. And I thought that that was really fascinating. So without joy, all forms held in consciousness begin to disintegrate. For joy is the energy of fusion and unity. So then he proceeds to talk about how he like bumped his joy up. He like figured it out, and he got happier and he started seeking joy more often. And then of course, all of those problems just immediately dissolved, a lot of them just almost by magic. It's like all of a sudden the lawnmower starts, all of a sudden the TV starts working, like the TV repairman gets there and he's like, there's nothing wrong. And I think we can all relate to a story like that and probably be able to check it backwards and be like, well, what was my mindset like before those things started going wrong, So it's just something to think about kind of in your back pocket there. It's really easy for us to lament whatever is happening. Why me? Instead of what is this about? So, okay, let's do a little tapping. Find a nice, comfortable seat. Just start tapping on the side of the hand. And repeat after me. I've got some inner conflicts from my past that are not resolved. There are some important changes needed. Because I'm not living in my truth. I've gotten caught up in duty. And these wounds from my past that are unresolved are making me play safe. So even though I've got some wounds that need to be healed, and I have accidentally lost some of my integrity, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. Okay, so we've got a little bit of information kind of loaded in our circuitry. We know what the problem is. We've reversed it a little bit. So top of the head. All these wounds from my past, they keep me playing small. I'm out of integrity, out of balance. I accidentally put a protective layer around my heart. And got caught up in duty. But it is time to demolish this protective layer. It's time to forgive and heal. It's time to do some housekeeping. And get rid of all these things that are no longer useful, that are draining or diffusing my energy, both literally and figuratively. So I am following my intuition, little by little. I'm trusting myself better. I'm opening my heart. And living my truth in balance and in my highest integrity. I am cutting through with my sword of justice. anything that no longer serves me. And I'm cutting through towards new inspiration. By following my intuition, I show up with balanced emotional reactions towards my personal issues. And I've gained tremendous wisdom. So my advice is truthful. And my perspective brings harmony. Because I am living a joy-filled life. And I fully understand that balance and harmony are born from joy, not the other way around. I am choosing an easy, relaxed energy. I'm choosing poise. I choose harmony between my head and my heart. I choose balance between my will and my love. I choose balance between work and play. I choose balance between listening and speaking. And I choose balance between giving and receiving. I am tranquil. And so it is. Okay. So hopefully we've got the good juices flowing. We're feeling calm, feeling relaxed. So we're going to go a little bit deeper and then ask Justice some questions about what needs to be cut, what needs to go, and how can we have that cool, calm perspective, right? So check in with your body. If you started to slouch, sit up nice and tall again. I do every time. Feet on the floor or sitting nicely cross-legged. Let your hands just come to the tops of your thighs. Let your eyelids go heavy. Let's take a few breaths together before we get into it. So come to the bottom of your exhale. And then inhale through your nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. Exhale through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your out breath. Inhale through your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Last round. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Press any last remaining bits of air out of the bottom of your lungs, and then big, deep belly breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and let it go. One more. Big, deep belly breath in through the nose. Audible exhale. Seal your lips back off. Keep your eyelids heavy. Doing just a quick body scan, looking for any places that might be holding tension. And then ask them to release. Now envision yourself at the entrance to a forest. You can feel a gentle breeze. The air is filled with that smell from like after rain when it hits fresh soil. A path opens up through the forest right in front of you, and you step onto it. With each step that you take, you move deeper and deeper into the woods. As you walk along the forest path, notice how the sunlight filters through the trees. It's creating this beautiful dappled pattern on the path in front of you. The earth is soft. You can hear the sounds of birds, leaves rustling. As you're chugging along on your path, you come to a small clearing. As you enter the clearing, you notice that you're coming to your sacred space. It could be any type of environment, but this space is very uniquely yours. It's a sanctuary of peace and tranquility for you. As you arrive at your sacred space, just take a moment to look around. Trying to pick out as many details as you can. Sights, sounds, sensations. Allow yourself to be just completely at ease. This is your perfect space. You're going to find, a comfortable seat. So maybe a chair comes into form in front of you, or a cushion. Take a few deep breaths once you're seated and allow yourself to sink deeper into relaxation. Today, you're going to have an opportunity to meet and have a conversation with Justice. Justice is the angel of order and harmony. Invite her into your sacred space. Visualize her presence in whatever version of her feels the best to you. Imagine that she takes a seat across from you. Ask her permission to ask a couple questions. Then ask her, what lifestyle habits of mine are making me lose energy? Ask her, what lifestyle habits of mine are giving me energy? If it feels correct, you could write those answers down in your mind's eye and stick them in your left front pocket. If you're ready to move on to the next question, it's, which of my relationships are draining to me? And on the flip side, what relationships of mine are positively affecting me? If it feels right, you can write those answers down, put them with the others. Excuse me. Last question. What helps you get into that cool, collected mindset? Or if it's better asked, what pulls you out of a cool rationality? What happens when you pretend that you have Justice's ability to see things from all sides? I'm going to let you close your own meditation. So please stay in this conversation with Justice for as long as it feels good. Ask her whatever you want. As your conversation begins to come to an end, do express gratitude for any insights and guidance that you might have gotten. And then allow yourself to naturally come out as you're ready. I will see you next week.